statement where we are and what we are asking for.
10 minutes.
Well, we are doing it every year, so you are probably very much familiar with what our goal is and what we did last year, but I will summarize it. For the last 15 years, we are running the gallery RIVAA, and the amount of members are growing steadily up. And during last year, I will start from the item which, and the day which happened a few days ago. It's Fall for Arts Festival. I think it was tremendous success. It was wonderful weather. There was 20 panels painted and everybody enjoyed it. Every day walking to the work and coming back from the work. 10 of them were painted by associates of RIVAA. And we are very happy that there was not even one left with the white paint unpainted. Roosevelt Island Day, coming back to Fall for Arts Festival. 10 years ago, we approached Rio with the idea of creating the Fall for Arts Festival. There was nothing like that before. Catherine Johnson, who was vice president of Rio, embraced this idea. And later, Erica and other presidents follow up. But I personally did the sketches for the murals. They were saying, murals? That's the graffiti. That's something really we don't want to see on the island. And look what we have. We have the tradition already, for the last 10 years, to have the murals painted by everybody. Senior citizen painting 2 or 3 people, young kids painting the mandalas with Carolee, and all of that, will hang it in Motorgate. This is another gallery. I think it's a tremendous achievement by the community, by Rio, and I have to say, partly by ourselves, by RIVAA artists, because we talk about it, we push the issue, and we are trying to make this island of the art. And so far we are trying to make step by step, but steadily going forward. Cherry Blossom Festival, every year we are participating in terrific spring festival. We are having at least 10 plus new exhibitions in our RIVAA gallery. And there are artists from abroad, there are artists who are representing the Roosevelt Island, there are guest artists. I have to mention 2 fantastic exhibitions during last year. It was Peter Geriakaris from Cornell, who put this entire RIVAA into completely different equation. We never seen this space so well turn into something would bring you in and push into completely different time and zone. With the music, with the light, with the painting glue on the walls and the floor, with the outburst of colors, with the 3D glasses which you can see this. I think it was embraced by everybody, not only by this community, but by Cornell and the friends of Cornell and many, many artists and visitors from 5 boroughs. In the last exhibition, which we taken down yesterday, the students from PS 217 and students from Legacy Child School exposed their artwork. And the teachers frame it and put entire wall. And we are willing and committed to do it on every time we have the common exhibition. There is an Octagon Gallery, which we shouldn't forget. We are running this gallery, and there is at least 6 to 7 exhibitions a year. It's a small space, but still requires time, requires to judge the artwork, to put it together, and to advertise it. I mentioned about the Motorgate Gallery, and we are all very proud of it. It was the concrete and glass space, sometimes very dirty, sometimes cleaner. and without any splash of color except red and gray. And I think with those 6 by 8 or 6 by 18 feet murals, which are painted by the people from Roosevelt Island, having them on the walls of Motorgate, it is testimony to what we can do together. And I have to praise RIVAA for its terrific effort to handle it properly and to select it properly and to maintain it. When I was talking about it 3 years ago at the meeting of the board of directors of RIVAA, they told me it was a crazy idea. You will see that after a few days there will be scratches, there will be graffiti on it, it will be destroyed, it will look ugly. There's no graffiti, there are no scratches. People are really enjoying it. And I have many, many good praises about it. As you noticed, additionally to RIVAA Gallery, additionally to Octagon Gallery, additionally to Motorgate Gallery, we are currently displaying some artwork in the windows of the empty stores. That was the effort of Hudson Related and RIVAA to help Hudson Related, to help community to go through the main street and not to see only empty windows. David Kramer told me, yes, you can take the hardware store. And I told him, yes, we can, and we will display artwork because we have many of paintings. But under one condition, that they would be clean, nice, white background. They did it, and you see already 2 artists exhibiting before Aline Jacobi installed it 2 days ago, her artwork. I think it's a fantastic example of how we are trying to work with the community, for the good of the community. Jazz Salon was cancelled for a few months because we didn't have money, because there was summer, and a week ago it was once again reinstated with the full energy of the team players, jazz players, and Mr. Sushil, who is really involved in it, and he's putting the soul into making it really great. Our goal is to make this community and this island of art. And I'm repeating it very many times, but we are doing it. As a matter of fact, a year ago, Gustav Kreitz, famous sculptor from Sweden, donated to RIVAA and to Roosevelt Island his sculpture. It's a blue dragon. It's a 9 feet long dragon down in stone, dark blue stone, curved as a dragon. And he was saying, I'm giving it to you. It's $250,000 worth. His sculptures are in front of the United Nations. His sculptures are in front of the American Museum at Columbus Circle and in many, many places in the world. He's 92 years old and he visited the island twice. He's coming over here in the end of October. We approach RIVAA, we approach RIRA, we got the great support from RIRA, and recently talking to RIVAA, and we agree on the spot. It will be at the entrance to the South Park, facing the United Nations on the small grass. We went over there with the engineers, with the directors of RIVAA, and I think it's going on. So pretty soon, if not this year, beginning of next year, we'll have a new sculpture. And the sculpture is not only done by famous artists, but it's also the sculpture which children can play on. Because it's relatively low, it's soft in shapes, so even Gustav Kreitz was saying, this is for children and for people to look at. Currently, we had few conversations and meetings with sculptures from Long Island City, our neighbors. and they're willing to donate to Roosevelt Island a few sculptures. If you are passing by at the main street and look at the door to the gallery RIVAA, you will see first sculpture, which one of the artists brought to our gallery to see, for community to see. We are working on the spaces. We will approach RIVAA. We will plan where to place them, and if everything will be going well, we'll have a few more outdoor sculpture on that. Everything what we are doing is possible, I'm finishing. Everything what we are doing is possible because of the passion of my colleagues, and our membership is growing. A week ago we admitted 3 new people, one fellow from France who moved 5 weeks ago to Roosevelt Island, and another lady from Taiwan who moved 3 weeks ago, and she was saying, the fact that you have gallery on the island convinced me even more that this is a unique space. So this is thanks to the passion of the people who are working, but also thanks to the support from community. And we rely on this support, knowing, and you know very well that we are paying hefty rent for being in this place. Thank you.
Thank you, Ted. And you ended by reminding us of the rent, and rent is still a challenge for you, I know, according to your previous applications. What have you been able to do to mitigate or to improve your situation relative to rents that are charged to you?
As you know, we approached Cornell University and we invited them to join us to use our space. And this is one of the help. Not only that we are proud that Cornell are working with us, and Cornell for the island is something very extraordinary. And we are very happy that James Swanson has 2 days during the week for community meeting, for questions and answers. And she's very happy, Cornell is very happy, we are very happy. So this is one thing, they are helping us, of course, financially. This is a small drop in the expenses which we have. We have some private donations. We are trying to sell the artwork, which is very difficult to do on the small islands. David Kramer promised us 4 years ago at this place that in 2 years you will have the main street filled with all the stores. It's already 4 years and half of the main street is empty. It also is taking a toll on our visibility and our possibility of selling this more, artwork more. So private donations are good. We got huge donation in the form of the artwork from one of our neighbors. You noticed that our window was broken 2 months ago. We had to pay for that. Hudson Related didn't volunteer to pay for that. They were saying, you have to pay for that. So we did the auction during the last jazz festival, and we sold almost everything what was donated to us. We raised around $2,000, which I think will be sufficient to replace the window. We are trying to do everything what is possible, but this is not commercial gallery. This is the community gallery. Majority, I mean, 99% of our members are from this island. We are living there.
Ted, I'm sorry, I'm not cutting you short. I just want to be clear. So your answer to your ability to get help, get funding or budget for rent is that rent is still a problem for you, obviously, and you haven't been successful in improving the situation in that regard.
Not so far. Not so far. Hudson Related is rather tough, and they know that the place which we currently occupy it's one of the best places on the island. So we are still in negotiation with Hudson related to prolong our lease, but it looks like this will be very similar to what we have right now. As you remember, this lease, this rent was imposed on us 3.5 years ago, or 4 years ago. And before, we were able to do much more than right now, because we have to put from our pocket at least 3,600 a month, which is almost impossible if we don't have the support of the community and public purpose. Thank you.
Okay. Do either of my colleagues have a question that you'd like to ask?
So you mentioned the space in Watergate where you are sending the murals. How much space is there left, or are you going to rotate?
Once again, what is it?
The Watergate Gallery.
Yes.
After the Folk Art Festivals, you say always send the artworks there. Is there enough space for how long, or are you going to rotate?
Oh, okay, the whole concept is, at the beginning, 3 years ago, there was nothing. So we put as many panels as we could. A year ago, we replaced some of the panels and put the more panels. So if you are landing on the 8th floor, you see the mural. And if you, by mistake, press the button number 7, you immediately know that you are on the wrong floor. So through entire elevator corridors, there are panels. There is as many spaces utilized and walls for the murals. And this year, with help from RIRA, we are planning to replace some of the old panels with the new panels. So the people who were painting it a week ago, they already asked if mine will be displayed on Watergate, and we're saying yes.
Yeah, I do have a question about your budget also. That is on page 8. It's again the grand total, which comes to 60,000 here, but you are asking for 42,500 on page 5. So how does that?
Well, you know, if we are paying $3,000 per month, plus rent, plus electricity, and
That's right.
and $3,000 per month. So it's $36,000 per year. We are paying 5 to 6 and sometimes even higher during the winter, the electricity. We have to replace the bulbs. We have to put some utilities, having money for paper. We are giving the free classes for students. We are arranging the exhibitions. You know, every exhibition, it's entire gallery painted. We have to pay from our own pocket for the paint, for the brushes, for everything that's going on. You asked for the total budget. We gave you 60,000 because this is approximately what we have to operate properly. All of us are working for free. We are putting the money from our own pocket. Every member has a due fees due every year. And additionally to that, you know, if there is some donations, and we got some donations from neighbors and from community. One of the lady, Telma, is giving the money to support the program with children, and we are very appreciative of this. Jim Lutz with his foundation is donating some money to us, but there are just drops compared to what we have to pay.
Thank you.
So the various ways that you have utilized this space. So what else do you do? I mean, do you rent your space? I know you hold a lot of wonderful things in the gallery. Do you ever rent the space to organizations?
Yes, we're open to rent the space whenever it's necessary. The Toastmaster are having the meeting over there. They are donating small amount of money to us. We are open to many other meetings. I know that in week and a half we have the Main Street Wire meeting, and this is of course free because they are supporting the entire community, and we don't even think about asking them for any donation. But if there is an artist, like it was a Romanian artist from Paris last year, and he wanted to have 3 weeks exhibition in our gallery, yes, we asked the Romanian Institute of Culture to donate for us $2,500, and they did. We are open for that. We have to probably push a little bit harder to advertise it more widely. It's a fantastic space. It's many people who are walking through the Chelsea galleries there saying, you have a jewel, this is a treasure. The amount of space and the lights and everything else, it's fantastic. It's not at the Fifth Avenue, it's not Chelsea, it's still Roosevelt Island, but we are very proud that we are doing it on Roosevelt Island, not on Chelsea.
Well, thank you so much. Obviously, each of the at least 3 or 4 years that I'm familiar, rent has been your problem, your challenge, I should say. And this program was originally designed, and it's evolved over years and so forth, whereby the program helped with seed money and so forth. Originally wasn't intended to be a permanent fee organizations. Now, I know that there have been some changes over time and so forth, but I can't urge you to do this, but this question has come up each year as to what are you able to do to improve your situation to pay your bills. That's really the reality.
I tell you, we are applying for a few of the funds from the city, from cultural centers and other institutions, but this money is usually only for the program, not to pay the rent, not to pay the utilities. So it's a very strong restriction. And even if we are getting this money, we are spending it for the programs which we are doing, but not to pay them. And pretty soon, if we will not have the support from the community in the form of the public purpose fund, because I think this is we can count on it, and this is something what is very important for us. If this will not go, we are already contemplating of closing it down. There is no way that a community gallery will exist and pay such a hefty rent. And I wish that 3 years ago or 4 years ago, when there was discussion with RIRA what to do with those spaces, we could be safe, or at least put into the bracket of what we are, 501(c), non-for-profit organization, bringing and working for the community. It didn't happen.
Do you still have space, artist space at Sports Park?
Yes.
Okay, so you don't pay for that.
No.
So that's a gift from RIVAA that
Yes.
they give you, which is a wonderful thing.
Yes, and we
you have
admit
that
it.
whole floor.
Yes.
Because I'm wondering, I mean, you're doing all of this stuff, you're beautifying. I love Notre Dame. I mean, I love looking at the stuff as I go up. It's a joy to see it there. And it seems like you do quite a bit, but there, you know, I'm wondering how you manage, so you do still have that space.
Yes, and thanks to that, we are able to exhibit every month and a half or every 2 months new paintings, and they are not small paintings like that. They are huge paintings. There's 8 artists who are using the space almost on an everyday basis to put together and to work on the big size paintings.
And
there is no way.
There's a studio in Sports Park.
Yes.
Right. And those artists, do they pay for that space, or are those your board, or?
No, they are just providing us with the paintings and artwork, and they are teaching the students for free.
Okay.
Every Saturday from 11 to 2 p.m. there is a free classes from all age students
That's great.
for the community, and it's free.
And does that are those materials, are those paintings something that could also be turned around in order to try to help with these expenses?
Yes.
I'm just trying to
Of
figure
course,
out, otherwise
we
it
are
seems
trying
like
to
it's
do
a
that.
hole, it's just
Yes.
a hole that continues to...
Listen, we are trying to make profit on those paintings. It's extremely, extremely difficult.
Thank you.
So the classes you mentioned, you said all ages, so this would be another service basically by our gallery besides the exhibitions that serves all
Yes,
ages.
it's advertised on every issue of the Wire. It's a free classes. A few artists are guiding the artists. And what is extraordinary, I think, and everybody is telling me, they inhale the studio, real studio. This is not coming to school when you are sitting behind the table. You have the easels, you see the paintings, you smell the paint, you see different technique which they can use from pencil to acrylic through watercolor and through pastels.
Supplies are included?
Yes.
Wow, I'll be there.
Please, you will enjoy it.
Thank you very much. But no leave, I'm actually thanking my very interested panel, but we do need to ask the public if they have any questions. There was a question. We have a question, a public question, so go on.
Okay, I'm very familiar with the gallery's operations because as executive director of RIVAA, I provided resources to the gallery so that they could pay for advertising of their exhibitions, and that included 4x4 postcards that they used to use to promote their exhibitions. I'm also familiar with the gallery as a revenue generator, and I would like to know that the committee is aware of the gallery's failure to generate revenue. Their jazz salon, which is a lot of fun and which I go to as often as I can, I'm told is not even at a break-even point. So they are holding an event for the community and bringing people in, but they can't pay to cover the expenses of the food and the refreshments that are being sold at $10 a cup. They do hold events for the community, and as organizer, co-organizer of the Women's Movie Group, we paid $100 every time we had a movie at the gallery. The service was abysmal, and that's why we stopped holding our movies there, because the gallery personnel were not sufficiently attentive. So that's why they lost our $100 a month, which wasn't much. As Ted said, it was a drop in the bucket, but it still was our way of showing our support for our community gallery. So I think that the board here, the committee here, should be aware that the gallery should be operating at least on a break-even basis. Just because you're a nonprofit doesn't mean you can't generate revenue. And the gallery is unwilling to take steps that have been suggested to them by myself and others in the community to more responsibly raise revenue. I would ask the members how much dues they pay and when was the last time their dues were increased. Their membership may be growing, but if they're only paying a nominal amount a year, then there isn't much way for them to generate money. So I asked the committee,
thank you. Are you asking, I'm sorry, are you asking a question?
Yeah, my question is if Tad will address the points that I'm raising as to how they are effectively generating revenue. And I'm not even talking about looking off island for getting revenue sources from corporations or foundations or any other donors.
I think Tad would understand your question.
Yes, we raised our membership fee 2 years ago, and we cannot go up every year because our members are also in dire strait. So some of them can afford $300, some of them not. So instead of losing the members, we are trying to keep them. And I think this is the community approach. We are working with many different associations right now. As a matter of fact, we had 2 months ago the meeting with one fellow who is living on Roosevelt Island, and he is working with the mass media, I mean the social media. And he's working with us on the new Facebook and Twitter, and also on the new web page. And I think this will go on internet probably in next month, which will spread the news in much wider and more profound way than we are doing right now. I hope it will generate some additional interest and money.
Thank you, Dan. Any other questions? Ms. Birdie?
I love the gallery. I live right upstairs from it. I attend many events. I didn't even know that the last exhibit was from Legacy and Child School. I had no idea. I didn't see any publicity. I have fought with the gallery for years to start taking credit cards. People walk in, they want to buy a painting, it's $300. Who carries a check in this day and age? Who carries cash? And I've been turned down to complete frustration. As you'll hear from my presentation, over a third to a half of my revenue in the visitor center is now credit card. Yesterday, they just came in and I kept swiping and swiping and swiping all day. Credit card, that is it. I feel that the visual imposition of the gallery may be great to artists, but people walk right by it and don't see it. They don't have signage that's visible. It's hard to put out good signage. I want to support the gallery. I love the gallery. I get so upset. I go in there and see people drinking and drinking and drinking at opens.
Okay, I'm sorry,
friends of
Judy.
the gallery.
Judy, I apologize. I have to interrupt you just as I did Janet.
Okay.
Do you have a question?
Yes, my
for
question
Rita?
is there a Friends of the Gallery? Like a historical society has a membership? People who come to all your openings, all your events, do they contribute? Do they pay an annual fee to be invited to special events? That really would raise a lot of money because they love to drink your wine.
Thank you, Judy. We really appreciate your support whenever you can do that, and you are doing it for the last 15 years. Thanks to that. We had a few exhibitions coming together, and many often Judy's connecting us with new people, and it works very well. We don't have a staff, paid staff, which we could trust, and using the card and using the small square, which will make the business more flawless. I think whoever wants to buy is buying, and they are writing the check, and we're fine with that. In terms of friends of the gallery, 2 years ago we changed our bylaws and we included the associate members. They don't have to be artists, they could be just lawyers, doctors, whoever, teachers, engineers, or just people who are living on the island. Whoever wants to join us, there is a position for that, and this is the associate members. We open also the RIVAA membership to the young generation, 13 to 18, junior members, and currently we have 3 of them. And they enjoy very much working with us and seeing what we are doing, how we are putting together exhibition, and they have access to studio. They see what the painters and photographers are doing. I think it's a very uplifting moment. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, one more question. One more question. Ron?
I submitted questions in writing to RIVAA before tonight in anticipation because I was going to ask complicated questions. I've submitted copies of their written response to you, and I hope that you will take that into consideration as if it were a oral response tonight. In this contest, let me repeat one of the questions to give RIVAA a chance to summarize and add to the written remarks you already have. Please explain how the 2015 PPF grant to your organization aligns with RIAC's mission, purpose, duties, and authority.
Question number 1 or 2? As you wrong, your name is wrong. Yes. As Ron explained, we got on Friday the email with the questions. We sent back the responses, and we copy you. But because people at the audience don't know what are our responses, I would like to ask Laura to read it, please. Number 2.
This was actually, second question was explain how the 2015 PPF grant to your organization aligns with RIAC's mission, purpose, duties, and authority. RIAC's mission is to maintain and manage Roosevelt Island. It does so in a number of ways, including providing service, innovation, and partnerships, and then to the island community. RIVAA contributes to the cultural life of Roosevelt Island. A rich and diverse cultural community creates a healthy and thriving urban environment. RIVAA's contributions to the community are varied and far-reaching. Services, art and art space, like parks and recreational space, beautify and harmonize an environment. Through art, people and communities share and express themselves, both with originality and universality. RIVAA maintains 2 gallery spaces, and in conjunction with RIAC, Motorgate Exhibition Space. Its members offer free art classes for senior citizens and Saturday classes at Sports Park for people of all ages and ability levels. Communication. RIVAA maintains an active website and Facebook page. For tourists planning a trip to New York, it is an important social media link that draws visitors to the island. Fiscal responsibility. RIVAA provides tremendous value to Roosevelt Island at relatively little cost to RIAC. The community benefits far exceed the PPF dollars contributed because of the level of volunteerism that drives RIVAA's success. RIAC's ROI on support of RIVAA is high by any measure. Innovation. Art is innovation, creativity, and ingenuity. RIVAA makes important contribution to the island's landscape through a number of activities. Presentation of the work of students at PS&IS 217 and the Child School, exhibiting the works of residents of Kohler Hospital and Goldwater Hospital in the past, participating in the Fall for the Arts Festival and the Cherry Blossom Festival, participation in Roosevelt Island Day, and outreach to Bike New York and other organizations, and enthusiastically embracing other appropriate opportunities. Partnerships. RIVAA contributed to the planning for receipt of the sculpture by a Swedish artist, Gustav Kreitz. It has hosted exhibits of the Historical Society, and RIVAA collaborated with Cornell Tech on the recent exhibition at the gallery in honor of the groundbreaking ceremony for the new campus. It partners with island resident and musician Sushil Kurian to host the Jazz Salon series. It regularly partners with the Octagon Gallery, and over the years there have been numerous dance, music, and literary events hosted at the gallery. Roosevelt Island has many notable attributes, one of which is that RIVAA has worked to make it New York City's island of art. It is art of, by, and for the people to enjoy, celebrate, and participate in.
Thank you for that answer. As a matter of procedure, I just wanted to point out that the public session, as I understand how it is intended, is to literally be a public session. So questions that are officially submitted to the candidates are submitted through the public session. Now, if there are some lessons to be learned, these things will be discussed subsequent to this year's round of questions, and we'll look at whether that format might be altered. But right now, public session see us, and if you have a question, we ask it during the session itself. We don't really have a provision in the current procedures for the submission of written questions from the public to the applicants. Okay, if there are no further questions, because we're really over time,